Hi, my name is Samuel. Welcome to Celestial Oracle Codes. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all having a good day. And if this found you, you've been waiting for something to click. This is a collective reading, but it's going to feel personal. So take what aligns and leave the rest. Okay. Because what's coming through here is confirmation. And it's about who you are now. What's happening here is a build up towards something, but not in the way you might think. You've been expecting a moment, a sign, a shift to see something, but the shift already happened. The truth beneath this is you already are it. You're not becoming the version of you that wins. You already are the version of you that succeeds, that aligns, that moves forward with a logical and truthful way of being, a new and ingenuitive way of approaching problems and logically solving them with the mind, and a new way of interpersonal communication and just communicating in general. This is the version of you that succeeds, that aligns, and that moves forward. And since that version is now here, you can see that forward movement is easier. You're taking decisive action towards your goals, and you're moving in a new way. Or you're just taking action in a new way, and you are more conscious about the actions that you're taking specifically. Also, this calls you to realize the opportunities that are around you and have an optimistic about your life and the lives of others, because there's something waiting for you to make a move, and now is the time to act and not sit back and be indecisive about the direction that we want to take. So if there's something that you've been wondering about doing, this is your confirmation to go and do it, and the results will be exponentially better than you ever thought. But sitting back and waiting at this point in time may equal the loss in an opportunity. So that's a warning that comes through. You may have felt like something was different about you, but couldn't fully explain it. You think differently, you respond differently, you're juggling things differently, you're holding the balance differently, you feel differently internally, and you're expressing yourself differently externally. You see things more clearly. That's not random. That's identity shift. The only thing that creates hesitation now is looking back at who you used to be. The doubt, the overthinking, the waiting, it's all the close of a karmic cycle, the end of a phase that is gone. And now the lessons need to be integrated so that you can move on in a way that doesn't distract you from the new opportunities coming into your life. Because that's not where you are anymore. Ultimately, let's see what's Woo! Okay, so ultimately, the power here is recognizing what's already present. You don't need more time. You don't need more signs. The version of you that wins is here, and it's already active. The Knight of Cups is a personal invitation or some great response, some invite, for some of you, this is a romantic offer. For others of you, this is an invitation to a party. And for others of you, this is an actual invitation to collaboration. This is any invitation that leaves you emotionally fulfilled that's coming into your life. It's going to lead to a choice that you will have to make that can leave you emotionally fulfilled in some way. So satisfied on some level, and it doesn't have to be romance, but it can be. It's whatever resonates with you, and whatever kind of relationship or partnership could come into your life that makes that big of a difference for you. Ultimately leading to a greater vision that you had because you are holding a different frequency internally and externally. A balance. Coming from your logical state of mind, ending the karmic cycle, and taking decisive action towards your goals while keeping a harmonious frame of mind, I'm hearing, and also healing any kind of conflict or problems that might be in your life, adjusting and ultimately adapting to any situations at hand so that mastery can come and ultimately you can receive the recognition that you have always deserved. Ultimately, you are already the version of you that wins. And the version of you that wins is here, and it's already active. You don't need more time. You don't need more signs. As I said before, this isn't about waiting to feel ready. Wait until you see what happens when you fully move as this version of yourself, because this is where everything starts to align quickly. Ultimately, you are already embodying Emperor energy. This isn't about waiting to feel ready. You move as the version of yourself that already knows. You decide, you act, you trust, because that's who you are now. You're not building toward it, you're stepping into it. You've gone through so much betrayal, deceit, and just this conniving way in your, or not way in your life, but people in your life. People who have stolen your peace of mind, stolen your time, stolen your patience, stolen physical and material possessions from you. You name it, people have taken it from you. But at the end of the day, this is the old cycle where you had to keep up walls because you had all of these people who were acting in this devil energy, in this skeptical and this completely deceitful and sly energy, holding all kinds of responsibilities that weren't yours because you hadn't set up the boundaries. But now you can let down the walls, you can put down the burdens, and you can release the betrayal in your life. That's the message coming through. You looked to new horizons, and now you've seen them. And this is the response. King of Swords, because you stood in an outer mastery where you stood for the truth, you stood up for yourself, you had faith, and you stood on the inner work and all of the healing and harmony, but you ultimately took leadership over your life. And when you did that, you did it by controlling your mind, speaking your truth, communicating honestly, and logically approaching the problems as such. And now you're being recognized and acknowledged for that in some type of way, however it resonates. But you are holding a vision and standing in Emperor energy, which means you have self leadership ultimately. There's a structure to all the things that you do. Even if people don't realize it or understand exactly what you're doing, you have an authority, self authorship, self leadership, self sovereignty. These are words that describe you now. Enforced boundaries as well that are firmly wrapped around your core values. So this is a very powerful place to be where you're taking action towards your goals. Emperor is not afraid to go after what he wants, what they want, okay? Male or female energy. You don't have to be a man. This is a way to be. You are going after what you want. You are taking action towards your goals. You are not, this is, I'm going to get what I want. Even if they told me no today, eventually it's going to go my way. Emperor energy. So, our last card here. You found a new balance in life. So ultimately, not only did you find a new balance in life, but this is the alignment of your choices, of your values, and the relational mirror of the universe reciprocating to you all that you're showing it. I'm trying not to show, trying to stay in compliance, YouTube. You better recognize this. So, the Lover's card, we're going to put that out. Ultimately, letting you know that you're in alignment, you've balanced, okay? This is left and right hemisphere balanced as well. This is about integrity, not romance. It is so deeply seated in an integrity energy because it's about the alignment, it's about the choice, it's about the values, it's about being about what you stand for, it's about all the things that ultimately don't always, when this shows up, this is a great card to get with this because it means that you are in alignment with your choices, with your actions, with your behaviors, with your values, with all of it. And now you're taking inspired action, leading in your life, self authorship, making the way as you go, paving your way as you go, following, the beat of your own drum, and ultimately doing things according to your own will that not only benefits you, but ultimately will reflect in the benefit of the greatest good for all humankind in some way. And so it's very powerful, masculine, divine masculine energy that comes through in the Emperor. And that is just a powerful place to be. So that is the, we'll say, bones of your reading. But let's go ahead and get the actions and see exactly where you are and where you're going. So to do that, we're going to use the Sovereign Stability Index that I created, my little oracle, big oracle deck. But, alright, so the Sovereign Stability Index has 9 pillars in it. Each pillar governs a different aspect in life. And And so you can use them in separate decks, or you can use it all as one. Obviously, I mix and match because I created it. So let's see what it holds. So the way that I do it is I just cut it 3 times. Boom, 1, 2, 3. And then I do that 3 times. And then we see, so we're going to keep that because that flipped up and I don't know why. Fair enough. And we will see what the messages are for you. My beautiful, beautiful collective. Here we go. So we'll do 7 off the top. Get them out here. Sometimes the order they come in is the order they're supposed to be in, and other times they need to be in a specific order. But we're going to try and keep them in the order they came today. So here we go. Alright. So the first card that flipped out, since it obviously wanted to make itself known, financial flow requires structure. So financial flow requires structure. Abundance respects order. That's the declaration of this card. And action, track one area of inflow or outflow this week. So you might be in business, you might be a business owner, you might be trying to go into business, or you might just be trying to keep track of your finances for more stability and security. Either way, clarity attracts stability. Remember that. So the probability will be sustainable growth that replaces inconsistent spikes. So this definitely rings true for business for me. I'm feeling business. So track one area of inflow or outflow this week will be how you get that outcome of sustainable growth that replaces inconsistent spikes. Or you might already be going through sustainable growth that is replacing inconsistent spikes if this reading is for you. So let's go in order. Growth is seasonal. Honor your cycles. Rest when needed. And this renewal will strengthen your output. So another good one for a business owner, if that's you, to make sure that you are making time for strategic rest. So that's scheduled rest, right? Scheduled time where you actually have the time to just sit there and do nothing or meditate or go to sleep or just, this is where you're really paying attention to the functionality of your body and how you are showing up in the world and how efficient you are. And usually that is a direct reflection of how much rest you've received. And so this is really trying to make sure that you give yourself that proper rest and knowing that renewal will strengthen your output. So your energy is being upgraded. And so you might be being called to drink more water and sleep right now, and also eat more living foods. So that's more raw vegetables, raw fruits, and nuts and grains. And you cannot operate in old emotional patterns anymore. So we're releasing those from the body, we're releasing those from the mind, we're releasing those from our lives. So interrupt one automatic reaction today. So something that you normally, it's almost like it's on autopilot and it's actually wasting time or energy. It's just unnecessary. We're looking for that today. And just remembering that conscious response replaces unconscious habit. So emotional neutrality increases magnetic stability. So you will start magnetizing things into your life and having a more satisfied and satisfying experience if you start consciously choosing how you respond and how things get to affect you. So remember this. You have power over your emotions, and ultimately, however you respond in any situation on an emotional level is up to you. Anger is only there to alert you that something needs to change ultimately. And if you decide not to change it, or if you decide to change it in a conflicted way where it's abrupt or emotionally charged, then it is best to know that that reactivity will have consequences. And so, I don't know who needs to hear that, but it needs to be said, obviously. So, with that said, your intuition is sharpening, or is sharpened. And listen quietly, because silence will reveal guidance and your accuracy will increase. So, entering the stillness, being close to the mind, just knowing that your intuition is sharpening and really listening to those inner nudges is what you're being called to do right now. You are refining focus, and multitasking dilutes power. So prioritize one main objective, and the depth will outperform distraction. So mastery will accelerate. Whatever you're trying to be the best at, or if you're trying to be the best, or if you're just trying to excel in business, scale, do whatever. Whatever the thing, we're all trying to master something. And so that's the truth. If you focus and prioritize one main objective, your depth will outperform your distractions and your mastery will accelerate. So ultimately, this clarity will eliminate confusion. So you're being called to define all your objectives. What's important to you, what needs to stay, what's going to be a part of the long term, what does your long term future look like, what do you truly want in this life, what are your goals, what do you see yourself doing in the next 1, 3, 5 years, what do you see yourself doing in the next 1, 3, 90 day, 1, 30, 90 day, or 1 month, 30, 90 days. Let's say 1 week, 1 month, and 90 days. Or we can do 1 month, 60 days, and 90 days. Okay, let's do that. So, anyway, define your objectives and focus strategically on them, as well as your focus will strengthen and the execution will come about. So, if you define your objectives, obviously they'll be easier to, to execute, and that's the whole point of that. So we're going to put these in order, but hold on. So calm authority influences others. Just know that. If you can be relaxed about the way that you display and about the way that you convey exactly what you want to say, then your calm authority will influence others. So regulate your tone, and your presence will deepen and respect will expand on all fronts. Okay, respect for yourself and others, respect for you. So clarity eliminates confusion. We already did. Your influence is growing. Look at that. Your influence is growing. So I don't know who you are or what you're doing, but ultimately keep doing what you're doing because your influence is growing, and your presence carries weight. So remember that. And the action is to maintain integrity publicly and privately, no matter what. And this consistency builds credibility. So the authority is expanding or expands. Now, to put this into a future read, this is going to be a harder one because this is a lot of cards. But I'm just going to do the shuffle, right? I do a shuffle and then we see. And then now the way that it comes out is the future. All right, so here we go. These are all the cards. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Here we'll have to. I don't want to go in the wrong order here. Okay. All right. So the future is supposed to be your emotional neutrality will increase your magnetic stability as your authority expands. Renewal that strengthens your output, expanding respect as you execute, your mastery accelerates, sustainable growth that replaces inconsistent spikes. as your accuracy increases. So that's the future. All right. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful message. Beautiful collective. Beautiful. Thank you for being with me. I love you all unconditionally. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. I would love to have you around. We to the spiritual team, your spiritual team, my spiritual team, and all spiritual teams. The Most High Source, omniscient, omnibenevolent, omnikinetic, heavenly creator, absolute. Okay? I am eternally grateful for each and every one of you, and I send you nothing but all of my light, my love, and my blessings, and I will see you in my next reading.